Welcome to the Recovery Daily podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Abassi. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and stroke survivor, and I probably shouldn't be recording today, but I'm a glutton for punishment and I am recording anyway. I have a headache still from yesterday. It's just been increasing and increasing. I did take some Advil today, which is unusual for me. Advil, if the headache gets bad enough where it's actually starting to pound, um, the Advil will, or Aleve, will take the edge off of it. I still have a headache, but it's like multiple layers. So I am functioning. I did not take a nap today. I've been just sitting and making adorable greeting cards. And I don't want to show them here because some of my listeners may or may not be receiving them. So anyway, they're super cute. Super cute. I I used my sewing machine. I used buttons. I painted. So they're like super fun greeting cards. I wanted to say thank you to some people who shared their time with me for my birthday. So that was fun today and very low key. And I actually was hoping that it would rain and I could watch the rain fall while I was making my cards, but that didn't happen. It looks like it's going to rain, but it hasn't yet. Warning, there it is. I don't think you can hear it because the Mac does a good job of tuning out autumn barking, but the Amazon truck just showed up. So, um, what am I talking about today? Today I'm talking about staying in today. Um, the reading this morning, so it's Thursday, it's meditation day, and we read from the thought for the day on the Hazelden website. And just ignore Autumn talking if you can hear her. She's just going roar, 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 roar out the window. Oh my gosh, that's pretty funny. I have her little e-collar on her. So she's just talking instead of barking. Okay, sorry, I'm totally distracted. And then Boris has to give his 2 cents. Okay. What stood out to me from the reading today is that anyone can fight today's battle. And it's when we look at yesterday and tomorrow that we start carrying too much at one time. So the reading said, yesterday and tomorrow is what breaks us. So anyone can fight battles for just one day. And that was exactly what I needed to hear today. I didn't wake up with as much self-pity. I just woke up feeling tired because I was up all night with my head kind of pounding, not kind of pounding, it was pounding. And but I don't know, my spirit wasn't as low as it was yesterday. So I think because I was excited to make these cards. And it's things like that, it's managing my spoons and my cups. And I really enjoyed today. I enjoyed being creative and aiming it at communicating to other people. So the whole time I was making the cards, I was focused on other people and how much I care about them. So the rain just started, super awesome, big gigantic drops, and it's pouring. So the practice of bringing my mind back to where my feet are, that's what I call it all the time. And the reason why I say that is because, I'm standing here and my mind can be traveling to the other side of the world. And it's not until I reel it back in and my mind is right back where I'm sitting that I start being able to like bring my heart rate down. It will actually affect, I was talking about it yesterday, it will actually affect the way I respond to my chronic pain, depending on what I'm thinking, and what my spiritual fitness is, what my emotional fitness is. And this was taught to me from sobriety. Um, One of the things that was shared today in one of my meetings was really cool. It was someone who was going to be home alone for the evening, and I think it was the first time. So what she did was, the first instinct was, oh, I'm going to be home alone. Nobody's going to know, right? Nobody's going to know. I'm going to go to the liquor store, grocery store, whatever, and pick up my drinks. I'll drink for, however long I'm going to be alone. Nobody's going to know. I'll go to sleep. I'll wake up tomorrow and nobody will even know it happened. And that's not what she did. She started to think about, like, what can I do to stay busy, and took a nice long walk and so on and so forth. And it's that kind of experience that I also experienced that showed me how I can fight the battle that I'm in. I can survive for one evening at a time. There were days that I felt like I was fighting that craving every minute. I'm okay right now. I'm okay right now. It's kind of like I share about when I was running 5Ks and I would think about, or I was training for 5Ks, and with every step, I was actually telling myself, you're okay right now. You're okay right now. And that's how I got to really understand staying in the moment, staying in the step, literally in the step that I was in. And that became emotional muscle memory. So when I started to feel a little panicked because I almost felt like I couldn't control my mind. And, I talked to my daughter about this several years ago. It was like we were talking about some distress that she was in, emotional distress. And I shared with her, you can actually control what you think about. You're not a victim of your thoughts. And I didn't know that until I got sober. I had no idea that my thinker was not in control of me. My brain was not in control of me, that I can actually partner with my brain to help it, to guide it in the directions that are healthiest for me. We are all fighting battles. And that was apparent to me this morning. I'm sitting there and I'm dealing with my own chronic pain, my own battle, my own stroke recovery, and I'm still thinking a lot about how I don't have a job and what can I do? And I wake up in the morning, I'm always thinking, what can I do today? What am I going to do today? And I want to get to the point where I just know what I'm going to do today. Sometimes it can be, yeah, I know it's a difficult problem to have. Like, I'm being sarcastic because I know there's lots of people who are working, and I remember when I was working, I would have been like, oh, it must be so hard to not go to work and wonder what you're going to do today. But it's you only know what it feels like to be medically retired if it happens to you, and to have your purpose kind of be ripped out from under you and needing to build new purpose in your life. Um, but I that's just my battle. And I realize that everybody is fighting their own battles, and we all show up and it's invisible to each other. Um, but when I go to my sobriety meetings and I go to my support groups, that's where we get to open up and share what those battles are. We get to share what's wrong. And we also get to share what's possible. So when I share what's going on with me, um, it's allows somebody else who might be suffering from chronic pain as well to know what's possible. And I had a lot of gratitude today. I really did. Um, this stroke, I heard this morning. This really spoke to me. My stroke was not my fault, but acceptance is my problem. I thought that that was really a, I don't know. It seems so simple, but I'm like, yeah, I want to blame somebody for my stroke. I want to blame somebody for the pain that I feel every day. And there's no one. There's no one to blame. I can't, it's not my fault and it's not anybody else's fault. It's just what it is. And I hate when people go, oh, it is what it is. And I'm like, can you not? Of course, it is what it is. Why is that a sentence? But that's what it is. It's not my fault, but acceptance is my problem. And owning my response rather than the unfairness of the situation. Acceptance is the doorway to peace, internal peace, and growth. Um, Freedom comes when I accept the pain. Freedom to do whatever I want today. You know, that thought about what am I going to do today? Well, unless I accept the pain, unless I wake up and I go, okay, this is my truth. This is what I'm dealing with. And um and I accept that if it gets bad enough, I need to take a nap. I can't do yoga today. These types of things. And I have this little conversation with myself. This is real. I have a conversation with myself, albeit very quickly, acknowledging what I can and can't do today. Today's going to be a pain day. And this is what I need to do. And with that is freedom. Okay, now you can spread your arms out and you can figure out what you're going to do, um, despite what's going on. So, one thing that makes me happy is making other people happy. And what I heard this morning is, what did they say? I wrote down something different than what they said. It was like, um, I can't remember what it was, but what I wrote down was surrounding myself with happy, positive people makes me happy. And I wish I could remember what they said because it was inspiring. But in the same way that I want to surround myself with happy, positive people, I want to exude happy, positive vibes. And so I today I had the option. I could have sat and listened to Stephen King's The Stand, which is that's my book I'm listening to right now, and lay in bed. Or I could work on my cards, which was not a lot of eye movement at all. And I considered really, I think what made the choice for me is which one of these options includes other people. I mean, I'm doing all of it alone, but which one of them is going to help another person or share myself with another person? Feed a positive environment around myself. The more that I can nurture the relationships, the happy, positive people around me, the more I'm going to get it back. And I need it. I need it so bad. Choosing these types of activities takes effort. It takes a lot of work for me to build the momentum to do something positive because I'm actually trying to cultivate it. It's not when I was before my stroke, I would wake up and it's already there. You know, I had some positive, happy vibes. Like I tried to be that at work. I felt like the marketing team is should always exude happy, positive vibes. Like we're trying to get people excited all the time, whether it's internal or external. So that was in my nature and that was my job. I saw that as my job. And so I woke up and I was always like generating it and I felt it and it built on itself and all of that. And today I don't wake up like that because what I see ahead of me, and this is a lot of what I talk to my psychiatrist about, is what I see ahead of me is a lot of nothing sometimes. You know, I I try to solve the problems that are ahead of me. Um, Problems that don't even exist yet, problems that I'm creating, stories that I'm telling myself of where I'm going to be. And a lot of times I'm wasting a lot of energy trying to figure out the ending of those stories that aren't even real, that are ahead of me. I want to solve the problems of tomorrow. And when I reel myself back in and I just focus on what problem is in front of me today. And the problem today is acceptance. The problem when I woke up was accept you have a headache, accept that it's really bad, accept that you can do this activity or this activity, generally speaking. Which is it going to be that's going to bring you joy today? Um, and so when I was able to get back into today and put my mind where my feet are, I was able to just enjoy being and practicing being present and practicing gratitude for the people that are helping me along. And that's a big freaking deal. Um, one day at a time is not just blowing smoke. It is a mentality that keeps me sober, and it's a mentality that keeps me from diving into that depression that I know so well. Um, and so I invite you to stay in today and know that that's enough. No matter what stories you're creating for what you see ahead of you, um, know that you can only solve the problem that is here in the moment. And that problem is acceptance. Um, so I hope that you find this to be encouraging. I know there's a lot of pain out there, and that's one of the reasons why I like to share my experience because I have a lot of pain. I have a lot of physical pain, and I practice these principles in order to reduce my emotional pain and to nurture my spiritual fitness and my emotional fitness. And it's working. It's working. I just keep doing it. I just keep doing it. And I still smile. I talk a lot about serious stuff, but I still smile all the time. I'm always smiling. Even when my dogs are barking for no reason and I have a headache and all of this stuff. Like, I have to stop and notice what's really happening. I'm alive and odds have been against me several times and I'm still here and I'm grateful for that. That's what keeps me inspired. So, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop because I could keep going. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.